Hi everyone, Jennifer here, back with another edition of Movie Talk. And this week's movie is a part of one of my absolute favorite franchises in the whole wide world. And that movie is Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Princess Leia is held hostage by the evil Imperial forces in their effort to quell the rebellion against the Galactic Empire. Luke Skywalker and Captain Han Solo team up together with the lovable droid duo R2-D2 and C-3PO to rescue the beautiful princess and restore justice to the galaxy. Okay, highlights of the movie. Like any of you really need it, but let's just go through it, okay? This movie was made back in 1977, so it's not an old movie, but it's not a new movie. And it is a sci-fi fantasy opera, although I simply just call it a sci-fi movie, that was created by Lucasfilm and 20th Century Fox. Now, it was the first movie released in the Star Wars franchise. And at the time it was released, up until recently, I think like when the prequels came out, or possibly even the sequels, it was referred to strictly as Star Wars. People started referring to it as New Hope later once the franchise really got going, and that was so you could differentiate between this movie and the franchise. The others being in release order: The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Rise of the Skywalkers. Now, chronologically, and those are just the main 9. There's also the Ewok movies, the Clone Wars, Rogue One, and Solo as well. Although I'm not sure where the Ewok movies fit into this. Now, I just couldn't fit them all in there without it getting really tiny print. Now, it is also chronologically the 4th movie in the series. The others being in chronological order before it: The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith. And following it, The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Rise of the Skywalkers. Now, those are just the 9 main movies. Now, chronologically, and I'm going to exclude the Ewok movies because I don't know where they fit in chronologically in here. I'm assuming somewhere between The Force Awakens and Return of the Jedi. The movies are actually in chronologically as followed: The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Clone Wars, Revenge of the Sith, Solo, Rogue One, then this movie, The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Rise of the Skywalkers. But again, I couldn't fit the other 3 on here without the type getting really small, so I just kind of left them off. But I did want to mention them. So I just really did the 9 major movies. Okay, things I liked about this movie. I really liked everything about this movie. This is definitely one of my favorite movies. And it's also one of my favorite franchises. I mean, this movie started the whole Star Wars fandom. All the movies, all the books, all the comics. I don't know if you would count the comics in with the books or not. All the games, all the toys, the TV shows, the Clone Wars, both Clone Wars TV shows, the Rebels TV show, the Legos, Star Wars Legos TV shows, though I never really watched those, Star Wars Resistance, which again, I never really watched that one either, and the 2 newest members of the Star Wars TV franchise, The Mandalorian, which is awesome, by the way. If you haven't yet seen it, I recommend you do. And The Bad Batch, which I have not yet seen, but I've heard good things about. Probably after The Mandalorian or some of the other stuff that's with it, I'll sit down and watch that one, I promise. You know, this is the movie that started all of that. All the online games and anything Star Wars, this is what started it. It was just, it's an amazing movie. I've seen both the digitally remastered where they added the new scenes and upped the technology, and the original. I didn't see the original in theaters, obviously, but I remember watching the original on VHS when I was a kid. Maybe dating myself a little bit there, but I don't care. I mean, I would watch this with my dad. I would watch the original trilogy with my dad a lot when I was a kid. He loved this movie. I loved this trilogy, this franchise. I love this movie, this trilogy, this franchise. My dad actually was the one who got me into Star Wars. So I guess that's kind of why it's a little special to me. But this was the movie that started it. I loved, now, I just loved everything about it. Now, did I like the original or do I like the remastered? I don't pick between them. Obviously, I watch the remastered more because that's what's out there. But the original was really good, too. I mean, yeah, it was made in the 70s, but it was really good for the technology they had at the time, especially considering no one had really done a movie like this before at the time. And the remastered stuff is really good, too. I mean, the way they went back and they cleaned up the film and everything and added in the scenes, like the scene they added in with Han talking to Jabba and outside the cantina and everything, which ties into Revenge, what happens to him in Return of the Jedi. That was amazing. I love the alien characters George Lucas came up with. I mean, I thought they were really cool. And not just like the main alien characters that you see, which in this movie would really mostly be Chewbacca at this point. But like the background characters that they have just kind of walking around inside, and walking around just to make it places look like a alien spaceport or whatnot, looked really cool. I mean, the makeup and the costume designs were just so amazing, in my opinion. I loved the storyline. I thought it was like really, really cool. I liked the actors. I mean, the three main actors, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, they were great. I mean, the way they played off each other was just amazing. And I loved watching that. I still love watching that in the original trilogy. I think it's so cool. I mean, do I like the original trilogy better than the prequels or the sequels? I can't say that because each one kind of stands alone on its own. The sequels, the original trilogy, and the prequels are each a different trilogy of movie, and I like all three of them to a degree, although I really haven't at this point seen Rise of the Skywalkers, but I will watch it at some point. I just, with work and everything, I haven't just had a chance to watch it yet. But this is just a franchise that when you love it, you love it. Now, are there some things about Star Wars I don't like? Yeah, I don't like the Lego Star Wars. And Resistance just really never interested me all that much. But I love the TV shows. I love the books. I have a good collection of the books that I actually inherited from my dad. I love the movies that I've seen. Ewok Adventure, that was more for kids. And I like more the ones that are on par with what it is. But I mean, the Ewok Adventure was cute. The two Ewok Adventure movies were cute. And there's just, a lot I love about this. And I know we're getting off track with talking about the movie. I'm going more into the franchise. But the movie ties in with the franchise, so I feel like kind of can go off a little bit into the franchise. Especially since, as I stated before, this is the movie that started the franchise. And I'm going to move on before I eat up 30 minutes of just talking about what I love about this movie, because there's a lot I love about it. But those are actually the main points. Okay, cast. I don't think I really need to do this, but I'm going to because they were there, because I was able on Wikipedia to find the actors who played the main characters, and we kind of got to give them tribute. Okay, and yes, you're probably thinking, well, wait a minute, there were like other people in here. Yes, there were other people in the movie that were given names. These are just the main guys, okay? So we got the main trio, Luke, Leia, and Han. Han's buddy, Chewie, Obi-Wan, because he was in all 3 movies. Obviously, one of the 2 main villains, Vader, and of course I had to give dual credit to the person who portrayed Vader and also the person who did his voice. And then the 2 droids, and then of course Tarkin. Yes, is Tarkin one of my least favorite characters in the franchise? Yeah, I don't like Tarkin at all. Had to give the actor who played him, you know, I had to mention him because he was one of the main villains in this movie, who was a big villain. Again, you'll see more or less, minus Tarkin, same characters in the other 2 movies, The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. We will be adding characters, we will be subtracting characters, but minus Tarkin, these are the main guys who are in all the movies. Okay, feel free to check out my related Star Wars videos. Okay, feel free to leave your comments and questions in the comment section. I do love to read those. Please like and share if you're watching on Facebook, or like and subscribe if you haven't already, if you're watching on YouTube. And feel free to follow me on Wattpad, Tumblr, Instagram, and Twitter. I do have my name for those 4 sites right there on the screen, as well as the pictures I use for the icons. Please note that all pictures seen within this video do belong to their respected artists. I own absolutely nothing, and the links for the 4 sites I mentioned will be in the description section. Okay, quick reminder on my comment rules. Okay, feel free to check out my other movie talk videos. And I apologize for that typo on Little Brother Big Trouble. My Movie Talk Special Edition videos and my other videos. Okay, before we sign off, a couple of things I'd like to touch on. First off, YouTube subscribers. Any of my videos that are not on YouTube are on my Facebook page. The link will be in the description section. Facebook friends. Same deal. Any of my videos that are not on Facebook are on my YouTube channel. The link will be in the description section. And for anyone who's interested, you can feel free to check out my Facebook group, Fanfic Corner. The link will be in the description section as well. This video is dedicated to my dad, who introduced me to Star Wars. As always, thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.